for $375,000 AT&T Annihilator Cup. Tarik, week one was Apex. Looked like you had a pretty fun time. Is that true?
Well, I'm always having a fun time, but let's just say I was not as prepared as I should have been. I've played Apex before, but it's just been a minute. So, yeah, I had a great time, but mostly just hiding from Timmy.
And this year they got a lot of FPS gamers, yourself included, but it's also like a lot of top peeps from different games. Obviously, Apex pretty heavy with people like Noko and Lulu and Timmy and many more. What's it like going up against someone like It's Timmy on one of his main games?
Timmy's a beast. He's my boy. So, hey, if he's winning by a lot and I'm like losing by a lot, I'm just gonna start feeding him, and maybe he'll slip me a buck or two. No, I'm kidding. No, Timmy's a fucking beast. Yeah, he's like Baby Shroud. So, that's the best way I could put it.
What's the game you're most confident about, and then what's a game that you think is gonna be most challenging?
Counter-Strike, we hope, should be the easiest. And Street Fighter was actually the game that I predict to be the hardest for myself because I've barely played. And I know Street Fighter is just a hard game mechanically speaking. So plan is to just, cash out as many points I can in Counter-Strike and Fortnite here. And then for Street Fighter, hopefully, my opponent's lagging or some shit happens where it works out in my favor.
We got a lot of streamers like yourself who are very busy, probably traveling throughout this time, and it's a 4-week long event, so you got a lot going on. Were you able to get a lot of practice in before this tournament even came to be?
No, I actually was. I just got back from Japan, then California, so have not got in as much practice as I wanted. This Fortnite one I think I've played like 4 hours of Fortnite leading up to it, so that's way more than my 0 minutes of Apex played. So maybe this could be the game changer for me.
I mean, you had some good like rage-filled moments though. Like despite the ranking on Apex, you still had some of the most watched clips. I think people really enjoyed seeing the content at least.
Yeah, I was putting my personality out there because the gameplay was not it.
What did you do before you got into streaming? And I know a few people probably know, but can you take us through a bit of that timeline?
Well, I was in high school, and then I was streaming at some point when I was like 16. And then I was streaming when I got to my first semester of college, and that's when I got the chance to go pro. So I dropped out of school and moved to Cali with CLG and the rest of the Mouse Spaz boys. And yeah, so I'm not gonna lie, like I've kind of been doing this out the womb.
You ever miss CS, man? Ever miss pro CS?
Uh, I miss playing on stage. I don't miss practicing because it's stressful. I don't miss losing because no one likes that shit. I miss the fan interactions. But what I tell myself now is, Twitch rivals, baby.
And obviously things have gone really well for you. You've transitioned to a new game, but you also have the chance to compete still at still high level against other streamers. So how has streaming changed your life? I know you talked about competitive play into streaming. So how have both those things maybe changed the trajectory of where you thought you were going to be? How's that impacted you?
Yeah, I think with streaming, you have a way better work-life balance, whereas in Counter-Strike, it was kind of constant travel throughout the year. Sometimes we're going to Europe for like 2 to 3 months at a time. So everyone already knows that stuff about it, where it's just event after event after event. Whereas with streaming, you kind of have your own schedule. You can kind of play whatever you want. And yeah, I switched over to Valorant, which has been, pretty nice because it's not only a game I enjoy, but it's a game that is constantly changing and evolving. Not to throw any shade at Counter-Strike, I think what makes it great is the fact that it stays true to its foundation and principles. But Valorant is always trying to find ways to mix it up. So that's what keeps me in it. And now obviously we've got the watch parties going on, which have been a big hit for myself. And sometimes it is a lot, but I'm trying to do a better job at pacing myself. But yeah, it went from streaming to playing pro to back to streaming to watching other people play pro. So we're kind of just going full circle with it all.
Have you noticed like a difference in the people that watch you from evolving from Counter-Strike to Valorant? Because I know sometimes the two communities go at each other. So what's it like for you kind of being a little bit in the middle, especially with CS2 approaching?
Yeah, I like to play on the fence of just like saying both games are or both games this or that. But more so with the viewership side of it, I would say that, yeah, I think in CS I was averaging like 3 to 5. So I've definitely made a big boom in recent times. But it's not really, something that I pay attention to where it's like affecting how I act on stream. It's more so just yeah, I've been doing it for so long. I feel like I've been streaming for like, I don't know, it's probably been like over 10 years or probably been 10 years. I think I started in 2013 if I'm not mistaken. So it's just another day in the office, I guess, as they like to say.
Do you got any like inspirational words for people who are trying to grind, whether it's to be pro or to be a streamer, and look up to you?
Yeah, my words of advice to anyone that's trying to become a streamer or a pro is always just to not put all your eggs in one basket because I feel like going pro or becoming a, streamer that can make a living off of it is such a big gamble that you really shouldn't, invest everything into it. But I do think it is something that you can pursue while, having a job or going to school. And there's been many instances of that in the past for whether it's a streamer or a pro player becoming successful off of that.
All right, last one for you, man. We enter into week 2 of 4 weeks. It's a long competition. You got any other words for your competitors out there? Anything to watch out for? You're probably on a spot in the leaderboard I don't think people expected you to be at. So, any words?
Don't underestimate me.